So right in front of you, you have the Senate map as in its current form, with the most of the map filled out, except for 3 toss-up states. Now, the reason I'm doing this, it's been about a week and a half since my last video where I made a U.S. presidential election prediction, and this time around, I thought it would be appropriate to do a Senate prediction now that we're 1 month away from the election, where not only the presidential election will be decided, but also control of the Senate. And so far, we've had 2 debates. One debate has been the second presidential debate, technically, but this one with a new candidate on the Democratic ticket between Harris and Trump. And we've also had the lesser known VP candidates vying for contention. One of them is Tim Walz, and the other one is J.D. Vance. They both had a debate earlier at the beginning of this month, and they we've seen essentially little to no movement in the polls, but in the senatorial map, we have seen some movement and some very interesting races playing out. So I wanted to showcase the Senate map because the VP in a 50-50 scenario will be the tie-breaking vote. So essentially, whoever is the vice presidential contender or the vice president will decide. Most likely, in a closely divided 50-50 Senate, who will win the Senate. So let's look at this, the polls as they look now. So according to 538, if we look at the Senate, the U.S. Senate polls, we can see that in the battleground states, there are varying degrees of polls happening. So let's look at the first battleground state on our list, which is Arizona. In Arizona, we have Ruben Gallego versus Kari Lake, and Gallego's winning by 10 points. Not even a close state at this point. It's been pretty consistent. Even as far as September 25th, there have been more polls that had shown him ahead pretty much in every single poll. So this looks like a likely pickup opportunity for the Democrats. I would put it around this category over here. Now let's look at the next state in our contention. This is a different map. This is the consensus according to 270 to win. But for our instances, let's look at the Montana battleground state, which had Jon Tester there as the incumbent. Fortunately, it's not doing very well for Jon Tester. The last poll that had Jon Tester up was back on August 14th, but the rest of the other polls have seen him down considerably by as much as 7 points on the average. So, and it's been consistent ever since August 20 all the way up to September 20. It's been down by 8 points. So unfortunately, I would have to say that Tester loses his re-election bid, but I would still think it's pretty close. I don't think it's going to be by that margin. I think it's going to be pretty close. In the case of Ohio, though, let's look at the Ohio Senate map. In the Ohio Senate map, Brown has consistently polled ahead of Moreno, and but there have been 2 polls where Moreno has been up. It's going to be a close race as well, but this one I do give it to the Democrats. Brown is just like such a strong incumbent. I think I give it as a tilt margin. The other ones are set as well. This gives control of the Senate to the Republicans, even without taking into consideration, even if Kamala Harris wins the presidential election, she still may go in without winning the Senate with 51 seats to the Republicans, to 49 seats for the Democrats. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.